Hey guys, Lucas here again for another movie review. Just a little disclaimer before I start. My computer, my laptop, I would say is pretty much broken. I mean, it doesn't really turn on. It sometimes turns on, but then it doesn't if you keep it on too long, and then I haven't been able to get it on the last couple of days. So until I try to get the computer fixed, or probably even get a new computer, because I've been needing to upgrade for a while now, which hopefully I will get in the next couple of weeks or so. Pretty much all my videos for the next couple of weeks will be unedited. I know I have a lot of problems when it comes to my tech, but that's just the way it is. So just be expecting unedited reviews. You might get one edited if I'm lucky, but it doesn't seem to be looking that way right now. But anyway, yesterday I saw Looper, which was one of my most anticipated films for the rest of the year. It stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Bruce Willis, Emily Blunt, Jeff Daniels, and Paul Dano, and it's written and directed by Rian Johnson, who did Brothers Bloom and Brick, which is a great movie, so I've heard, which also stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but I haven't seen either of them. And Looper is a very intriguing movie. It has a very intriguing and clever premise. It's in the future, 2042, where time travel hasn't been invented yet, but there's these hitmen called Loopers, which Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one of them. And what they do is they get sent targets from the future in 2072 where time travel is outlawed, but the mob uses it on the black market to send back people that they want rid of. So since forensics are so good, they can't kill anybody in the future, so they send them back to the past where Joseph Gordon-Levitt waits for them and just shoots them right on sight. But then one day when he's waiting for his target, he notices that the target is himself, played by Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis gets the drop on him, and it's basically a manhunt from the trailers. But this movie has so many more layers to it that I'm not going to even try to go into more of that, because that's really what they show you from the commercials, but that's really just a slice of what's going on in this movie. Let's start with the performances. I thought everyone was solid, but I really liked the two leads here. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he has a lot of prosthetics and makeup on to make him look like a younger Bruce Willis. He has, like, green contacts, and they have him like a prosthetic nose just to match Bruce Willis's. And I thought it actually added to this character, because you weren't really you knew it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but since he looked different, it felt like you were just watching this character. It's like you weren't watching an actor, so that really helped. But Bruce Willis was really the one that stood out for me, because this movie has a lot of dramatic stuff with his character. I think his character has probably the biggest dramatic arc, and it was really nice to see Bruce Willis get in touch with his dramatic side, because usually he's like the typical action guy, and we know he can act, but he was just really, really good, and he was surprising, and he got me really emotional at some scenes. He was really surprising, and he carried it very well, and it was refreshing to see him do that, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt carried himself very well. I wouldn't say he had as many dramatic scenes, but I thought he was very good for, his character. Emily Blunt's in it too, and she's fine. I just don't want to get into her character, because saying any more than she's fine. We'll get into spoiler territory, but I thought she was good for her role. Now, I think the script for this movie, Rian Johnson also wrote the script, is very clever, because with time travel movies, whether it be, Terminator or Back to the Future, there's always going to be some messy, fuzzy kind of logic behind the whole time travel thing, and I love that this movie was like, don't worry about that, we'll explain to you this, we'll explain to you that, but don't look more into it, because there's times where characters will try to ask characters about how does this work, and Bruce Willis just says to Joseph Gordon-Levitt in one scene, he's like, don't even talk about it, doesn't matter, we'll be grasping at straws here if we talk about it, so I love that. That was really smart thing to do. There's a lot of comedy between older Joe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and Bruce Willis's character, and younger Joe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and they provide some good scenes there. I mean, there's a great scene with great dialogue in a diner. You've seen in the trailer, but it's much more extended, and there's some great banter there. I just find the whole concept of meeting your future self super interesting to me, just like what you would do, and they definitely play that out with a good effect and a good comedic effect. And this movie was ballsy. Like, there's, besides the plot elements that they don't hint at in the commercials, which is great, this movie had some balls, and just, like, there was a scene in this movie, cut twice. There was a scene, like, in the middle and a scene in the third act where I'm like, no, they're not. If they do it, this movie has some insane courage to do this, and they do it both times. They do it, and I'm like, holy crap! That they took some serious risks, and it paid off, and it made the movie that much more unpredictable. Like, you never knew where it was going because they would introduce some new thing, and then they would do this, and you're like, oh my god, can't believe they do that. So that was great. It was really surprising, and the movie was paced well for the most part. But the action in this movie is very good. Like, whenever the action is, I wouldn't call it an action movie. I call it more a sci-fi drama and thriller. But there's definitely enough action here. And what I love about it is not only is the action well directed, but it's character driven and everything. It's not action just to have an action scene. It's, you know, the characters drive this action that moves the story along. But there's some badass, like, there's some moments in this that are so violent and unexpected that it kind of reminded me of when I saw Drive for the first time. And while it may have not had quite the same effect that it had when I saw Drive, because Drive is probably one of my favorite movies of all time, there was moments in this movie that reminded me of that, like, wow, that's surprising, I was not expecting that. And then there was just some points of sheer badassery. I'll just say there's a part in this movie where Bruce Willis starts going off on these guys with these dual-wielding these guns. Amazing. It was so... because his character... I love Bruce Willis's character. Can be very emotional and dramatic, and then he can also be sarcastic, and then just straight... like, his character is badass in this movie. Like, he was so awesome. So I really was shocked by how good Bruce Willis was in this movie, and I think this is one of the best movies of the year. If I had to have a complaint, in the middle of the movie, it slows down a lot, almost jarringly so, because it kind of takes place in a different setting than most of than the first part of the movie. And it slows down quite a lot for about 20 minutes or so, where I was starting to kind of get disinterested. During this part of the film, though, they introduce a lot of character backstories and plot lines that keep you interested, and you're very interested in this movie all the way through. It's just that portion there kind of dropped the movie down for me. But besides that, there's some nitpicks, like some of the time travel logic. I was thinking, like, well, how would that work? But then I just took the movie's advice and don't even worry about it. And then if you do that, you'll have a great time. It's a movie that you'll think about long after you see it. It sticks with you. It's emotionally resonant. It has a lot more layers than I thought. It's entertaining. It's original. And what more could you want than that? I'm going to give it 4.5 stars out of 5, one of the best movies of the year, and it's just so refreshing in a year of mediocre blandness and remakes and disappointments that a movie delivers and is smart and is just completely original. So I really love this movie, and I definitely suggest you to check it out. So that's my review of Looper. I hope you guys don't mind the unedited reviews. Trust me, I like editing a lot more. But I do have some exciting stuff coming up. As for Monday, I'm probably going to go to the 7 Psychopaths premiere, so I might have some footage from me at the premiere if I can get, if I meet anybody, so that's exciting. And then expect reviews for Hotel Transylvania, Frankenweenie, and Argo all in the upcoming weeks. So thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.